Hello, welcome to Online Seller UK podcast. My name is Prabhat, founder of Online Seller UK, and we're doing series of PPC podcast. And today I've got Mina. He's a multiple seven-figure Amazon seller in supplement industry and also founder of PPC University. Welcome to our podcast, Mina.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Right, good. So today we are talking about using PPC to dominate supplements on Amazon. So yeah, tell us a bit more about yourself, Mina.
Pretty much, came to America in 2011. Got my bachelor's in chemical engineering and chemistry. Got my master's in industrial engineering. Worked in corporate. Didn't like it. Ended up starting my own supplement company. Didn't know how to sell the supplements. Told people that I was going to sell it on Amazon. Figured out how to sell it on Amazon. Started going deeper and deeper into the PPC rabbit hole because I saw that the more money I was spending on PPC and the more reviews I was getting, the more my supplements were selling. So just got deeper into that. Eventually started sharing what I've learned with people. Say, hey, I tried this, I tried that. I saw this happen. I saw that happen.
Sure.
People start coming to me, say, Mina, can you teach me PPC? Can you help me with PPC? Can I consultation? And I'm like, okay, listen, I'm trying to run my businesses. I'm trying to dominate. I want to be the king of supplements on Amazon. So I came up with a course. I said, here's everything in my brain about PPC right there. If you need it, it's right there for you. And, I try not trade my time for money, because at the end of the day, I built my businesses to, my number one goal is complete and total freedom, financial freedom, geography freedom, time freedom. So I don't want to be, having to exchange that time for money. I want to build businesses. I want to build strong teams and then the businesses grow.
Okay, so you've rightly touched base on PPC. So looks like you've obviously got very good experience on that side. So let's talk about PPC strategies. So what's the exact PPC strategies that has worked for you?
Cool. So let's jump right into it. So for me, my goal on Amazon is two things. So there in Amazon, when you look at the sales, there's two sides to it. There's convertibility and discoverability. When we talk about convertibility, is how much is your unit session percentage? It's your conversion rate. How, if 100 people come to your listing, how many people are going to buy? And that you can optimize with reviews, pricing, title, images are super important. Main image, listing images, enhanced brand content, so on and so forth, questions, videos, whatever. You make the person want to buy. So now that you've done that, okay, so I'm assuming that you've done that, you're constantly improving your listing. How do we get a billion people to our listings to make as many sales as possible? Amazon PPC. Now, obviously, there's more strategies like external traffic and so on, but we'll focus just in the Amazon environment, Amazon PPC. That's how you drive people to your listing. So my goal is to discover every single keyword and product under the sun on Amazon that has anything related to do with my product. So if anyone types any certain keyword and is looking for a solution to a problem that my product will solve, I want to target that. So I start off by doing this. I get auto campaigns. I break them up into four. Close match, loose match, complement, substitutes. Those are going to be discovering keywords for me. And then I get my main keyword, break it up into three campaigns. One keyword, one campaign broad, one campaign phrase, one campaign exact. I do the same with my top 10 keywords. One campaign broad, one campaign phrase, one campaign exact. How do I get my top 10 keywords? Well, I take 10 of my top 10 competitors, put them in Helium 10 Cerebro, do a reverse ASIN lookup. I go into advanced filters. I do 9 minimum ranking competitors. So if I put 10 in the search, I'll do 9 minimum ranking competitors. And what that will do is it'll give me the intersection of all of the keywords that those products are ranked for. So all of them have to be ranked for those keywords. Now I'll sort by highest to lowest search volume, and starting from the highest, that's generally the main keyword, and work my way down. And so, I'll launch those campaigns. I'll do refined category targeting, which basically I'll go create a campaign, category targeting, refine it. I'll do 3 stars or less, more expensive than my product, to target those products that are low hanging fruit. I'll also hit up new arrivals. So I'll go find those brand new sellers on Amazon. Easy, there's easy money, and I'll target them. I'm sorry, but you know, these people are probably not optimized listing or anything. You know, it is what it is. It's business. And then you know, from there, I'll also target my branded keywords. So broad phrase exact, hydrolyte, MMA nutrition, electrolytes, so on and so forth. I'll launch that. Now that's going to start generating discovery for me, right?
Sure.
I'll wait 7 days and I'll pull the search term report. Everything that's been clicked on 3 times or more shows me that there's intent. Like 3 different people clicked on that keyword, or clicked on my listing for that keyword or that product under the detail page. It means that they're interested in me. I'll pull all of that and start launching 10 keywords per campaign, broad phrase and exact, and then ASINs, 10 ASINs per campaign. The reason I do only 10 is because I've seen that when I do more than 10, what happens is Amazon will only funnel the money to the top 10 or top whatever, 12 keywords, because Amazon wants you to make a sale. And so why would they give the money to a low search volume keyword when a high search volume keyword is much more likely of making you a sale, even if it means it's going to spend more? So I break them up. And then every 7 days, again, I go in, I download the bulk sheets, highlight everything, click filter, you know, sort and filter, column B, record type, click on that, show only keywords and product targets. From there, it shows me all of my keywords and product targets that I'm bidding on, and I'll go in, I'll look at the ACOS. Now, depending on what your target ACOS is, if my ACOS is higher than what I want it to be, I'll go into the max bid, lower a little bit. I lower by 5 cents. I don't do any equations. I don't do anything crazy. I do iteration. What iteration means is you have, this is where you want to be. This is where you are. You go slowly, keep making changes until you get closer. If you're too low, you start, you know, making changes and go higher. That's what I do. I don't try and solve an equation. I just, you know, it's like I go into the shower, turn the hot water on, put my hand. Too hot, lower it a little bit. That's pretty much iteration for you. This is engineer speak. So anyways, from there, you know, I'll optimize the bids. If again, ACOS is too high, lower it. If ACOS is really good, I'll increase the bids a little bit to get a little bit more visibility. If I'm getting more than 5 clicks, no sales, lower the bids a little bit. Anything under 300 impressions, I'll increase the bids a little bit because it means it's not getting enough visibility. And I'll do that again and again and again. You know, every 30 days, I'll jump into the search term reports and I'll see anything with, you know, that's any search term that's inside a keyword that's, you know, 100 ACOS or more, 100% ACOS or more, I'll negative that. And anything that's, you know, again, 7 clicks or more, I'll negative that. And what I'm going to do is every, you know, 60 to 90 days, I'm removing all the negatives and giving them a chance again. And if they don't perform well, they get negatived again, and so on and so forth. I also go into the placement reports. I look at which campaigns, which placements I'm doing the best. So if a certain campaign, for example, you know, Hydrolyte Energizer, the search term campaign number 1, you know, detail pages has a very good ACOS, like maybe 10%. What I'll do is I'll do a bid plus. I'll do a 10% bid plus, and you know, I'll do that. And that's pretty much my strategy. I want to target every single keyword under the sun. I don't know if it's going to be profitable or not, but I know for a fact that when I get data, I can make a data-driven decision. I don't negative anything. So if I go into the search term report and, you know, electrolyte powder discovered unflavored electrolyte powder for me, I'm not going to negative unflavored electrolyte powder in electrolyte powder. What I'm going to do is just launch it as a broad phrase and exact. I always launch the 3 match types. I never only launch one or the other because they behave completely differently. So that's pretty much my strategy for PPC. And it's just a continuous, you know, cycle of optimize the bids. They get too low, increase the bids. They get too high, optimize, negative them, you know, then remove them from the negative them back if they're not doing well, and so on.
Yeah, so I think you've said a lot of things there, and I personally learned a lot very quickly there, right? So it looks like a lot of time and effort with going through this cycle, you know, every 7 days, 30 days, 90 days. So do you handle all these manually, or do you work with software, or how do you work with that?
So I started off manually, completely manually. Up until like maybe a month ago, I had 4 brands, about total of 12 SKUs, and I was doing all of that manually. Then, went and on Upwork and different places, and finally found an Excel developer. So someone who's very familiar with Excel macros. And I said, here's what the bulk sheet looks like. I want to input this and that, and I want to click a couple of buttons, and I want it to spit out exactly what the campaigns are supposed to look like, so I can take that and upload it to Amazon. So just finalized the working on a bulk campaign creation tool. So now my campaign creation is a lot faster. Also worked on a bulk sheet optimization tool. So remember how we said, if this, then this, if that, then that, ACOS is too high, whatever. Worked with the developer on that. Now I have a macro. I input the numbers that I want. Hey, listen, if the ACOS is between here and here, lower by this much. If it's a certain type of keyword, do that, and so on and so forth. And so, from there, now the actions are a lot faster. But for the longest time, and well over 7 figures, I was still doing it manually. And, nothing beats when you work hard.
I think that's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah, I was expecting a software name as an answer, but you completely changed that to a
No. I honestly, I don't trust anything. It's like, it's very hard because I've used the software in the past. I'm not gonna, name them or bash them, but I've used them in the past, and they've completely ruined my campaigns. And I kept calling and saying, guys, can you explain to me what's going on? Why is my PPC spend higher and my sales lower? Explain to me. And I kept getting, our AI, our artificial intelligence, machine learning, and I'm like, you guys don't know what you're talking about. I should have just trusted myself to do this. And then instead of looking for a silver bullet, which everyone's always looking for, they're looking for that silver bullet, that one thing that they can do that's going to skyrocket their Amazon business. I said, that's bullshit. There is no silver bullets. I have to do the hard work myself. I have to develop the skills myself. I have to learn. And so I learned PPC very, very, very well. And even for the things that I'm like not good at, for example, like creative stuff, I learned it really well. And then I at least developed a system and a way that I can, hold people accountable. So now I hire people, I vet them thoroughly. I say, here's the scope of work, here's the deliverables, here's the expectations, here's how we measure success, here's the timeline, here's how you're going to get paid based on what, schedule of values. And then I implement that, and I know enough that, for example, if I bring someone in, I say, why did you lower the bids like that? And if they don't give me a convincing answer, I'll know right away. Not because, I'm an expert at PPC, but because I know it enough. And if it's the same with anything, email marketing, I'm not good at email marketing, but if someone comes in, I'm like, why did you, do this? And if they can't give me a good answer, I will know. But if you don't know enough about PPC, you'll never know. So that's why I always preach, learn it. Even if you're going to delegate it, learn it well enough that you can hold the people who are going to manage it accountable.
Okay, excellent. So I think there was a next question about SOPs. So you've already touched based on that. So how do you set up these SOPs? So when you hire someone, so it must take a long time to get a system right?
Yeah, so this is pretty much what I do. And again, for me, the number one motto, I got to get it framed on my wall somewhere. It's progress over perfection. So I am a guy that shoots from the hip. I don't care about perfection. I care about progress. So because if me and you talk about something and you sit there and think about it, I've already done it. I've already gotten a result, and I know the answer for a fact. Because you're like, what if we did this? I'm like, hey, I already did it, and here's what happened. So it's done. So for me, in terms of SOPs, for every quarter, this is what I do. I sit down, and for 2 weeks, I'll document hour by hour, minute by minute, every single task that I'm doing. After those 2 weeks, I'll compile all the tasks, and I'll sort them from highest priority to lowest priority. If it's checking emails, if it's whatever it is, I'll compile them. And then I'll start with the lowest priority task, and I'll create a detailed step-by-step standard operating procedure, aka SOP, how to do it. And then I'll create a training video. All of my SOPs are in one sheet, one Google sheet. Every single tab is a different SOP. And each tab has that video, a link to the video right at the top. The videos, I use OBS screen recorder. I screen record myself doing them. And then when I hire someone, I bring someone in and I'm like, hey, watch SOP 1 and read it. They watch it, they read it. Okay, can you do it? Yes. Please show me how you're doing it. They go, they do it. Okay, you need to fix this and this. They do it again. Okay, now it's good. And I'm like, here's SOP 2, here's SOP 3, here's 4. After a while, I pretty much duplicated Mina from last quarter, right? Because Mina from Q1, he was doing this, this, and this. Now it's all delegated and it's cloned because they're doing exactly how I did it. Obviously strategic thinking, things like that, I'm still doing it, but I'm talking, daily tasks I'm not doing anymore. And so that's the way I handle SOPs. Everything is centralized. All my team and everyone has access to the same SOPs. So if someone wants to understand something, they're very free and open. They can go and look at the SOP.
Excellent. You've mentioned this within a couple of minutes, but I can imagine it must have taken.
It takes time. And that's the hardest part, because you want to work in the business, because that's what makes it feel like you're making progress, and you don't want to work on the business. And I just talked to someone about this, and I'm like, what are you doing with your SOPs? And he's like, dude, I'm not worried about SOPs right now. We just want to grow sales. I'm like, okay, you'll see, because what you're doing right now, if you took it all and you brought someone from the Philippines for $400 a month to manage it all, you literally just bought. Oh, sorry. I clicked the button. You literally just bought yourself an extra 40 hours a week, right? Because you took 40 hours, even if that person works at 70% capacity or 75% capacity, you just bought yourself 30 hours a week, where that you can now focus on new strategies and new things, and increasing sales in a different way instead of the day-to-day. So too many people think that you are going to push your business forward by working in it, because you physically feel like you're inside, you're pushing stuff. Yeah. But the real growth is when you work on it. So if you guys haven't read a book by Michael E. Gerber called The E-Myth Revisited, definitely recommend you read that book. It'll change the game for you.
Yeah, I completely agree with that book, Vic. I did read, somebody introduced it to me.
And, game changer for me.
Absolutely. And it does change. It actually changes things as well. So we know, well recommended, that book. So, okay, good. So you were talking about Neuro just before we started recording. So tell us a bit more about it. Yeah.
Here's the beautiful baby. Okay, so Neuro's a really cool project, and the reason I want to share this is I think it's like something that not a lot of people do, but think of it as a case study. Basically, I approached a friend who's an Amazon FBA YouTuber, Sammer Brax. I said, hey, what if you need some content? I want some personal branding. What if you documented me taking a product? We think about a product, right? Sourcing it, creating it from scratch. Launching it on Kickstarter to prove to the world that you don't need money to make money, launching it on Amazon, getting reviews, ranking, SOPs, hiring an employee, everything. Document the whole journey, show the P&Ls, show every single dollar spent, just show the bank account. Like, I don't even care. Let's show the world what it takes to create a successful product. And the best part is that it's going to be full of drama, because we don't know what's going to happen. It could fail on, we don't even know the Kickstarter results. Maybe we're going to raise $1,000. Maybe we're going to raise $100,000. Who knows? So, and what we're doing is we are bringing experts along the way. So since it's going to be like 20, 30 videos plus, I said, hey man, let's pitch it to some sponsors. We got some really cool people. Getida, they do Amazon FBA reimbursements. Thrasio, $1 billion Amazon acquisition company. Ping Pong payments, for currency exchange, virtual credit cards, a few other sponsors. And we said, let's take that money and let's start experimenting for the people. You might have never done, a full detailed, email campaign because you don't know, or someone quoted you $3,000. Okay, how about I spend that $3,000? I show you everything that they did. I show you how much it worked, how much it didn't work. Was it worth the investment? Was it not worth the investment? All of that. And at the same time, I can hire experts and bring them in and say, hey, can I pay $200 for an hour of your time? Consult me on, branding, consult me on, logistics, consult me on this, consult me on that. And so, we're creating this story, this adventure where we're documenting every part of the journey. We're also offering like a playbook, and we call that the FBA Challenge Playbook. And it's step by step, every single thing we did for the business. There's going to be a video right there. You can click on the video, watch us do it. There's going to be a link to the resources that we used. The reason I do this, I want to add as much value to the community as possible for two reasons. Number one, I feel like, you're just as bad as the people who are scamming people out there. If you know the answers and you're watching people give bad answers and not doing anything. So that's kind of one point. But the other point is I'm also doing it for personal branding, because I've noticed so many people like Logan Paul, for example, Conor McGregor, yes, they're good at what they do, but because of their personal brand and they're famous, their opportunities are coming their way. And so for me, the only way that I can figure how can I add to my personal branding is adding as much value as possible. I don't want to be a clown, I don't want to do funny stuff like that kind of stuff. I don't want to, trash talk or anything like that. I just said, the way that I'll do it, that I'll get a lot of personal branding is by adding more value and being more honest than anyone out there in the community, showing my, my brands and my products, talking about them. So, everything's out on the line. I'm a very zero bullshit kind of guy.
Right, it says it all. So look, good luck for that. I'm sure it will all go well, and when it is
Let's
ready.
hope so.
Yeah, I'm sure it will go well. So good luck for that. So look, we are coming towards the end of the conversation. So you've really added value today. I'm sure people who listen to this podcast will benefit a lot. So if somebody is to find you, Mina, where is the best place to get to you?
Best places to find me is Mina Elias on Facebook, Mina, last name Elias. On Instagram at Egyptian_prescription_Elias. I'm really good at responding to messages and DMs as long as they're decent ones. Not like, help me. Are you an Amazon reviewer or stuff like that? I get so much spam. Also, if you want to follow the FBA challenge or the Neuro project, you can, go to Sammer Brax on YouTube or the Brax FBA group. It's a a Facebook group, and we're doing the lives there and updating people, sharing the resource, all that kind of stuff. And I'm more than happy to help as many people as I can in the time that I have.
Absolutely. So I'm sure people will follow that. So look, thank you very much again for your time today, Mina. And I'm hoping that we'll catch up again with another story by the time you would have started that journey, and maybe we'll catch up on that. So all the best for that, and thank you very much again for your time today.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.